Welcome to Transparent Conversations.
Wrong one.
Elevated Exchanges. It's Friday night. All right, people, we out.
Yep, wrong one.
Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It is Wednesday night, so it must be a recap show live on YouTube.
Hello, welcome to Transparent Conversation, Elevated Exchanges. I'm your boy CPJR, or Calvin if you know me. Welcome to a Wednesday night recap show live. Today is Wednesday. This is episode recap show number 3, .20. So episode 3, 20 days. If you know, you know. So let's go ahead and get into the check-in. Wait a minute. I'm gonna do one thing straight away because it stays on my mind. I want to just send some energy out to my man. I don't know my man, but the young man that's been kidnapped and sent to an El Salvador prison. I'm in Maryland. He's from Maryland too. The senator that I've been voting for all my life, Chris Van Hollen, he's down there trying to get the man back. Our government decided to disobey court orders. They decided to just kidnap this guy and tell everybody they've been lying on the man, saying he's a terrorist. His wife has been on TV, just asking him to be strong. So I asked, I'm not a Christian, but I ask you just to, if you have a word of prayer, say a word of prayer for him and his family, that he'll be brought home safely. This man is not a terrorist, no matter what they say. He is not. He was here on asylum. He married an American citizen, and he has a child that's an American citizen. And to go ahead and smear this man and to just take a man who's here legally and just send him to a foreign prisoner is scary. It could happen to any of us. That's like in my state, which is a very, very blue state, as you probably can see, because the senator has gone down there trying to get the man back, and they're not letting him see him. So we pray that nothing is wrong with him. We pray for his family. I think about it every day, and I'm almost to tears most of the time. I just can't imagine, after seeing how they treated the people, how they treated them as if they were, I don't know, like animals on that plane, and then how they treat the prisoners. The pictures have come out, how they treat the prisoners in there, and it's the most terrible un-American thing. I can't imagine that this country stood up against the Nazis and the Holocaust, and then here we are. Now we're going through the same thing as they went through in that country, and if we don't stand up and do something about this, it'll just be another Holocaust. And already our economy's gone. I did get a job offer this week. I'm doing my check-in now. I did get a job offer this week, so I'm going through, and I accepted it. I'm going through. It's contingent upon background check. 1 hour's already come through okay. I mean, once I'm come through clean, and then I have to go through a clearance for the government, like the lowest government clearance, public trust, not a big deal. And then I'll just be working. So that's the process. The government isn't very functional right now, so hopefully that won't get. The funding won't get cut, the contract won't get cut, and nothing happens before my start date, which I don't have yet. But I have signed the job offer, so I'm excited about that. Because there's a lot of things I want to do, here. A lot of things I want to do, just out getting about. I'm setting my intentions this year on what I want to do. My intentions this year is to continue this. And upgrade this equipment as I can, and then also to buy a cargo van, and then I'm gonna convert that cargo van into a camper van and / studio, and I'm gonna be riding around the country doing podcasts, right on like a podcast on the beach today, podcast in the woods today, just all around, just enjoying life and bringing you transparent conversations, like what's on my mind, what's going on. And I talked to my friend Elise today. Elise talks. Oh, we did Let's Talk. Actually, she's on my channel. Elise, she has her own channel too. I'll put a link to her channel, in the notes of this show. But she's we talked today. It's been my friend for a long time. And she seen me at my most toxic. We met during while I was married. She lived in New York. I don't know if she met my wife though. But I was in New York with my wife. And wife, but I don't think they ever met. I think my wife had some suspicion about. Cause she's younger than me, right? So my wife had some. She was a bit suspicious of her, thinking that maybe she was trying to manipulate or use me or something like that. I'm not manipulated or used very easily. So I don't know. I just think it was just it's an age clash thing. I think it was. But anyway, so we hung out in New York. We hung out down here in our apartment while my wife was in New York. But we're just friends, just a friend, totally platonic relationship, like my friend. And I'm looking forward to having her on the show again. She has a very, very unique outlook. Like the whole thing about what's happening now, she don't have an idea what's going on. I wish I could do that too. Like just plug out, like just not pay attention to the news every day. But I have to, I have to see what's going on. I can't. I try to block it out as much as possible, but it's like every 2 hours, and it's really scary to see what's happening, and in such a small amount of time. Hasn't been 100 days yet, and the economy is about to crash. People are taking the reserve. People keep their money in dollars. They're gonna as a reserve currency. That may change. The value of dollars going down. You can't afford anything. Tariffs are going up, and we can't get anything from China. China's clowning its nut, and you remember that song by Jay Z? Like it was all good just a week ago. I'm like, damn. In January, in February, December, we were good. You know what I'm saying? We knew he got elected, but we were good. I don't know why they haven't. When you hear MAGA talk about, I don't want to be a political show. I'm sorry. Let me do that alone. So yeah, we're gonna put positive thoughts to the economy and we're gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure it the fuck out. We're not gonna just give in to this because we can't. We can't. We're America, man. We're America. And doubtless whatever the administration does, and this happens almost every time there's a Republican administration, we make it through, and then we have to fix it, and that's what we're gonna do again. Although it may be really hard this time, but that's what we have to do. We have to stick together. I have my thermos over there. We have to stick together and make it through. Make it through whatever's going on. That's just juice. Like I said, I'm clean. I'm not elevated. So also, I was talking to her today, and she was listening to some of my podcasts, and she was telling me how it's hard to listen to because I talk too fast. I do know that I've always had like a speech impediment. I think I don't know. I rush my speech a lot, so even when I was a kid, I have to repeat myself like 50 times for get someone to understand until I get frustrated and just walk away. This seems to only be a problem when I'm not at work, or I'm at work. I code switch and I sound like I don't know, an IC guy, I guess. But when I'm out and about, and I'm excited or nervous or anxious, I'd speed up. So I'm gonna try to do the Obama talk and the Hakeem Jeffries talk and just really talk slow, find my words, and get the message out there. All right, so let's go with. So last week, this is a recap show, right? So nothing's written down. I have a few videos I want to share, and the first thing I want to talk about is I'm gonna wind up the whole thing. I found out what the magic to get like views is on YouTube. The reaction videos. I did a video on I played the video of Neo talking about what he was talking about, and then I was breaking it down. Then I cut that up, made it a little short of is Neo polyamorous, playing what he was saying, and then I came back and just gave my opinion, and that got more views than I've gotten before of one video, which isn't a lot. It's real easy for me to top anything I have out there now. But I see that people like mess. That's basically it. And I don't. It's like, oh, I should just go ahead and do that. No, I don't want to do reaction videos. But I want to incorporate. Well, no, I don't want to do reaction videos. But I do want to always bring anything that's out there that's talking about ethical non-monogamy or polyamory in in a strange way, I definitely want to bring light to that because because I don't know, man. Everybody has a weird little Some people have some weird takes on what this whole thing is, and the first thing I always talk about, and I've been in it for like I say over 10 years. So one thing I always talk about is the word poly. It's just many. So I don't know when people say I'm poly. Many what? Many wives, many husbands, many loves. What are you talking about? And so based on, and it was a big debate, like I said in the groups before, what he was talking about, but definitely everyone came to the same conclusion that he's not talking about polyamory. Now, the reason that I said that last week was because um, of if a man talks about what he has going on at home, it's a lie. Pretty sure it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure that there's a lie going on. There's some exaggeration going on, and it's gonna be there in such a way that it's gonna be the what he's talking about is gonna be in a way that glorifies him. Like I got it going on, I'm good. They happy. You know what I'm saying? But unless if you're in a like I guess they're in a quint. There's 5 of them, so it's a quintet. So if you're in that much, if you have that many people in one relationship, it's hard for me just to imagine just you talking and never hearing from them, right? So there's something else going on. I would predict. I'm like I said, I support whatever form of ethical non-monogamy that you prescribe to or that you're involved in, but please call it what it is, right? Let's not call it polyamory when it's not polyamory. Polyamory, I've said before, is many loves. But I do want to say, if the man is polyamorous, please come on to some polyamorous platforms. There's platforms much bigger than mine. Talk about ethical non-monogamy. You should definitely try to go like decisions, horrible decisions, or any other. You were on there before, I think. No, you were on the old podcast with Mandy. So go. It will be helpful because they're now talking about their ethical non-monogamous. So why not go on there with your 4 beautiful ladies and just talk about it, just so everybody understand, and that it's a legitimate form of it's a legitimate form of love. It's a legitimate way to have a relationship. So that would be great if you could do that. Now, I do have a clip I want to play. All right, when it came up, I specifically said I do not believe anything he says. So there's a woman sitting next to him saying, "Yes, right, baby, that's it, that's us," because I know men lie. Everybody lies, but you know what I'm saying. Men especially gonna lie about what they're getting because men want threesomes. It's just about the V. They just want that. It's just like, however I can get that, and then based on the history, it seems to corroborate. So, please help us, enlighten us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna put that out there, put it out there. Let us know. You know what I'm saying, how it's working for you, and then let us know how we can get that too. I would never in any way want to be with 4 women at all. 2, I've been with 2. I've been with 2 like on the side. It's just really a lot. It's a lot. And I'm dealing with love. I'm dealing with just getting some sex. Not, you know what I'm saying? Threesomes. That's, I've done all. That's, I guess 3, 20. I guess what he was saying, like what his first wife was saying, that's a special thing that you do. But if you want that all the time, it's just really a lot. It's a lot, especially to be involved or have them in your house. It's just a lot. And why would you want that? Why would you want that? So especially if you're like a high power man and you're busy, I don't see you having enough time for 4 women every day. But like I said, if it's happening, I think you have a duty to let us know how it's going. You know what I mean? Like somebody might want that too. I think it's some legitimate couples that actually have that going on. I've seen them in the groups, but it's rare. It's rare. It's very rare. Most of the time, you see like maybe husband and wife have a separate boyfriend girlfriend. It's rare that you see a triad or 3, 2 men, 2 women, or 2 women, 1 man living in the same place in a healthy relationship, right? So what I want to do is I'm gonna if I imagine that if I imagine those women coming on, they should be sounding something like this, right? Listen, this is a clip I found on YouTube. I'll put the person's information in the link. I'm sorry, in the notes down below, so that if you want to check out some more of her stuff, she's describing a polyamorous woman. Roll the tape.
As a polyamorous woman, I have the freedom to connect with both men and women. I get to embrace multiple connections. I get to be fed in different ways. It's not all about the man, because I'm benefiting too.
Boom, boom. That's it. That's it right there. I mean, that's basically what we're talking about. It's basically what we're talking about when we're talking about the woman, right? The woman is in polyamory. These women have a voice, they have a will, and they have desires the same as men, and they embrace that, and they don't want to be locked in, right? Which is good because I basically like strong, intelligent, open-minded, curious women. I find them more exciting. I don't like I'm saying all the jokes about relationships and all that kind of stuff on that's on like these skits on YouTube, Instagram. They don't really inspire me, right? It's just like because I like that's because basically why are you doing that? Set healthy boundaries and have a good relationship. And that all comes down to what I always say: know your truth, right? Know your truth. And I guess I want to talk about one more thing. One more thing I want to one more thing I want to talk about from last week. I was talking about the girlfriend from high school that reached out to me, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought about it, I think I did mess up. I did it wrong. Not intentionally. I think that now that I think about it more and more, after hold on one second. Okay, yeah, after let's see. After I don't want to. Last week was 58 minutes. I don't want to do that long today. Just like this should be like 15, 30 minutes cut. So after we broke up, or she caught me cheating, or after she broke up and caught me cheating, that was it. Like I don't remember us ever running around in the same circles. That's something else. So it's like I have fond memories of our relationship, but I think like I said before, I think it was actually ran its time, and I think that's why when I try to reach out to her, talk to her again, she just pops out of my life, then pops in on a comment, makes these things, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah, but that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Like I know last week I said we would hang out on Friday night with my fellas, and I'm like, that's when the other girl came along, and I can't remember why she was never there. But I'm seeing now that we didn't run in the same circles. Yeah, we didn't run in the same circles, so that happened. So I'm gonna let that go. I can't reach out. I used to block a lot of people, right? Um, because I think it was all related to my behavior. Me being I'm gonna say an addict. I'm gonna claim that right now, but I'm gonna claim recovering addict. After 90, and then I'm gonna drop it like a hot potato. Um, but that was an issue back then, though I think. But just nowadays, just me when I'm moving, and then people would attack me after the relationship didn't work out, and that would end up with I don't like online feuds and stuff like that. Just let's text or talk. Let's get to the bottom of this. So that's something that she doesn't want to do. So that's done. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Um, so what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah. So the upcoming episode, as we talked about. Okay, so we've been talking about boundaries, manipulation. And then I was talking about I don't know what I was talking about. Boundaries and manipulation, and then I always talk about you have to know your truth, right? Walking your truth. I think that's the easiest way, and that's funny. I think that's um how does she start now? At least start. She changes her name sometimes. Yeah, so that's what my old partner used to talk about. Like, we talk a lot about knowing your truth. So basically, like I said before, I never really lived my truth. I don't think I was always trying to be something to someone else because basically, people, especially in my first marriage, like people want you come into a situation or a relationship, and I'm not trying to change anyone. That brings me to another thing I need to talk about. I'm not trying to talk about. I'm not trying to change anyone for anything, right? Because if I'm with you, I like you, right? I love you. I like you. I want to be around you. You're my friend, right? I am not trying to change you. I ain't never tried to change one of my friends, one of my buddies. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to change, but in a relationship, I think women want their needs, security. See, somebody said something to me. Security, something else. And then I'm like, you want that, but if you're looking at me, right, and I'm doing me, and if you around me, you don't feel secure, you should leave, right? You don't change the person. I don't care what it takes, and I think, but then some people are not gonna let you change them. But see, I know that I don't know, people pleasing or whatever you want to call it. I definitely put myself under a yoke, and I was definitely trying to pull that plow by myself, and it wasn't good. Now, one more thing I want to talk about, then we'll wrap it up and we're gonna be gone. So another thing happened in the like I said, I'm in the Facebook groups. There's a big group called Black and Poly. There's another group called Poly Black and Dating. Basically, it's like advice groups. People will come in there with some issues. Mostly new people come in, and most of the time new people will come in. They'll be like, when should I? One of the big questions people ask, and I'm gonna talk about this because somebody blocked me today because they caught me in the wrong time. So So as normal, a guy said I was dating this girl for a while. She fell in, she's in love. I'm in love. We want to go to the next level. But I didn't tell her I was poly. So now I want to tell her I'm poly. And I want her to join this poly journey with me. So what should I do? And she's already said that she feels as though she doesn't want that, but she wants to be with me. So that is an ongoing thing, right? So the default relationship in the United States or most of the world is what? It's monogamy, right? That's the default configuration. So when you start dating someone, they assume already that it's going to be a monogamous relationship. So therefore, you as a person who believes in E&M or moves in E&M ways, ethical non-monogamy, then you have the duty, in my opinion, to tell them that you're polyamorous and monogamy may not be possible. For a lot of people, polyamorous people, monogamy is possible. And then, but there is a thing called monogamous poly relationships, right? Meaning that one person is monogamous, one person is poly. The monogamous person's okay with the other person dating other people. That seems weird to me, but that's possible. That's possible. Usually what happens is, the other party will eventually become polyamorous too, because they're seeing that the other person is going out with dates, doing all kind of things. There's a lot to deal with if you're not polyamorous. So that was a question from someone today. Basically, my advice is always kind of blunt, because I've been in it a long time. And I've seen this over and over again. The same thing. When I got into ethical non-monogamy and polyamory, I did all my own research. I told you, books on books on books on books, just reading and finding out, because this guy said he knew already that he was polyamorous, right, before he met the woman, right? I didn't know that before I got married to Heidi, right? So we had already started talking about ethical non-monogamy, some other little things, but on the sex tip, swinging tip, nothing about relationships. And that was the thing that I had to tell her. Doing the other thing, swing, no problem at all. No problem at all. We had a blast. There was no hiccups, nothing. You know what I'm saying? We had the whole secret word, what we gonna do, how we gonna bail. Nobody's taking one for the team. All them kind of rules. But polyamory, that's a whole other story, because basically that means you could end up with another person in your family, somebody new, right? That's possible, right? So that's what she was kind of against, and that, like I said before, that's what we went into first. So that's different. I did not know about polyamory before we got married. I had no idea. I had already told her that I have, most of my, I said before, most of my friends are women, and I always have to just stop being friends with them because of jealousy reasons, or I have to just basically just live without, you know what I'm saying? Live without friends, and just be in the frustration and be focused on you. And then I want to, eventually knock you in the head. Not joking. I eventually want to get away from you. But I won't get away from you because I didn't have the words. Now I have the words. I have the words now. I speak up because you have to. After you get to a certain age, I'm 50. Oh, my birthday is on the 19th We're going to Fogo de Chao. I'm looking so forward to that. I didn't want to go to Fogo de Chao because of the way the economy is, but they said I want to go, so we're going. And I'm an expensive date, by the way. I'm gonna let you know that now. I'm not cheap. That's what I'm saying. People ask me why I don't go out. I say I don't go out unless I have a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? Like unless everything's straight, and I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't want to think about the bill. I want everything paid for straight. Don't worry about it. And I want to be able to say, don't worry about it. I got it. If I can't do that, I ain't going. Why would I go? I shouldn't be going out if I can't do that. And that's what a lot of people should be doing. So for the next, like I said, for the next year, my intention is buying my cargo van, my cargo van, converting it. I got everything straight. I already know the numbers I need. I know the equipment I need. I know the layout I need. I just need the material and the manpower to get it done. It will be done because that's my plan. Like I said, I'm all in on this. I'm all in on that. So that's gonna happen. So this is probably not gonna be any. I'm not trying to date anybody or anything. I'm so happy to be by myself right now. It's a whole different feeling. It's an entirely different feeling right now to not have that desire or that pull to want to be in a relationship, to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? There's a desire. There's always a desire to be with someone. I can't say that. Like I got my eye on some people, that I probably could, but it's like you don't want to go at me right now because I don't have you. I gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Because when I come, I want to come correct, and that's gonna be it. Period. That's gonna be it. So or I'll just be with myself because I got a lot to do. So I want to so that post that I commented on actually got into a little kerfuffle, a little online argument with somebody in the group. Like this guy was telling me, some other guy under my don't come on my post was commenting that the person wasn't wrong because there is such a thing as a mono-poly relationship, meaning that a monogamous person could be with a poly. That's true. That's not what the guy was saying. He said he wanted that person to be polyamorous with them. Also, if you didn't tell that person that you were polyamorous, they're looking for a monogamous relationship. That's bait and switch. That's basic polyamory 101. You tell the people who you are. You tell them what you are before you go in. You don't hide it. Why would you hide it? Why would you do that to somebody? That's capturing somebody. That's like me in the past not telling somebody that I have an addiction problem, or I've had an addiction problem, or I'm going through an addiction problem. I won't tell them. That's lying. That's me promising them the world and I can't deliver. You don't do that. That's not right. So I don't know. We just got into a kerfuffle, got into a little back and forth, and I'm like, and then I see the guy, and he's like a all-star contributor. You know that little thing they give you on Facebook. So he does a lot. So he's active in the group. I'm not sure how he's active in polyamory. I don't even know the guy, right? So he caught me wrong, and I'm like, I don't know what I wrote now because I can't even see the post. I don't know what happened. I said, don't even reply to me, man. No, but I say no. What I said to him was that is ridiculous. I will all what was the word? Condemn. He said, don't condemn somebody. I'm like, condemn? I'm going to condemn lying every single time or not giving someone full knowledge every single time. That's the problem. My whole thing about this, what I'm doing is know yourself, know your truth, speak your truth, live your truth. Because if you don't, you're going to have problems. And that's what this guy has. The guy who's the original person, that's what he has, problems because he didn't tell the person in the first time y'all meet. And that's it though. That's the thing about everybody think this is a fun and game type of thing. Like you're just in this because you don't want to commit. You're just in this because you want more women or more men. You want to be promiscuous. Nah, it's not like that. Because if you do this right, you're gonna be alone. You're gonna be alone for some time, right? Because there's not a lot of us, right? The group may have 30,000 members, but not 30,000 people are active. A lot of people are just investigating. And then once you start, if you're dating on like let's say a Facebook dating or OkCupid, some dating site, Match.com, when you meet people, they may be curious about, oh, you're polyamorous, tell me about that, right? And they'll string you along for 2 weeks, and then when they say, oh, that sounds great, but I can't do it. So me myself, I've been through that. So me myself, I'm like, I don't want to be with anybody that's not polyamorous. Why? Why would I want to do that to myself? Why do I want to get myself have feelings for you, and then I can't be with you because you don't really want to do polyamory. It sounded good, and I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's easy and for everyone, because it's not. It's a hard road, but but the payoff is great because you're dealing with very intelligent people, emotionally intelligent people, and you're dealing with people that know how to talk, communicate, people that want to talk and communicate, people who want to do like nonviolent communication. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's searching through your phone because they trust you, and there is cheating in ethical non-monogamy too. That's something that happens. But for the most part, if you know how to do your boundaries correctly, and then you know how to just stop a relationship in its tracks because you see where it's going, you're not going to be going for that. But you may have a lot of false starts. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, and especially in today's dating market where people are just like ghosting people after you got your toes too big. I gotta block you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that easy to like end the relationship, and I used to do that a lot, and I definitely stopped that. I'm not blocking anybody unless this guy blocked me. Before I had a chance to block him, because he called me an idiot. Oh, what did he call me? Not an idiot. He called me ignorant. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't know the guy, man. I don't think he knew who I was neither. So, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna bite my tongue or anything. But I'm gonna play one more clip that kind of reinforces what I was talking about. And I'm gonna leave it there. I think that's a good place to leave it. Basically, I wrapped up everything. The next episode, our next conversation is gonna be about spirituality, spirituality recovery, or just spirituality. Period. I'm gonna tap into and let you know how I deal with spirituality, how spirituality is helping me and helped me in the past, and why I'm an ex-Christian, why I'm not religious. I'm not religious. I just had a bad thought. What should I say it? There's only one way I go to church, right? That's it. It's hilarious when you do too. So if you ever see me in church, look in my eyes, you may get a surprise. So hold on, I got one more. This is gonna be good. It's about really, really dealing with someone and really letting people live their truth, right? And then if you can't let someone live their truth, if you feel like you need to change someone, like please go to school, or not like wash the dishes, like change them. Like, I need you to work more, go to school more, or smoke less, or that's ridiculous. Anyway, after this clip, we're gonna wrap it up. Hold on one second.
Allow people to do what they'd rather do. Or you talk about if you really want to know somebody or accept someone for who they are, take a step back and allow them to do what they'd rather do. In a healthy relationship, you don't have to guilt trip. In a healthy relationship, you don't have to manipulate to get what you want. In a healthy relationship, you don't have to seek to control them. And especially if all you know is to fight for everything. All my life I had to fight. If that's your reality, it will show up also in your relationships. So if you want meaningful relationships, trust that God will bring people into your life. Watch this, that have capacity to love you, that have the grace to love you. And if they don't, they're not bad people. They're just not your people.
Period. Oh my goodness, wrong one. So I think that's really so interesting. I need a producer. If you want to be a producer, you want to learn how to produce, let me know. If you want to be a co-host, let me know. You want to learn about podcasting, let me know. You want to learn how to edit videos, let me know. I do want to do a creators collective. That spoke to me right there. Like that's the thing that I'm finding out right away. Like if there's a clash, if I talk to someone, it's like my friend Holly, right? We just talk every time. We'll go away, we come back, we just talk. That's how it always been. We just talk. That's how it always been. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a time or anything where I felt the need to change her or anything like that. There are some people that I have had issues with, and then I still pressed on. Don't press on. Leave. I know if everybody says you should work relationships, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's a work. I think you can have communication issues. But if you know someone at their core, right? If you trust someone at their core, you take the time to really know them. You don't have to change them. But if you feel that you need to change someone or they're not living up to your expectations, leave them alone. That's not your job. That's not your job. Life will change them. It's not your job to change them. Do you? And I always think about this too. Have you ever got to the point where you need talk to your like friend, your buddy, or your girl, whatever, that you wanted them to? I need you to be this for me. No, you don't do that to your friend. That's your friend. You accept them for who they are. For some reason, when we get in romantic relationships, we want to change the person because we want them to what? I don't know, not be our friend anymore. That's a weird thing for me. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. See you on Friday. We're going to talk about spirituality. That's a deep one for me. Religion is a deep one for me. Most things are. So I hope you got something out of this. If you have the time, please like, subscribe, and share the video or not. This is basically a conversation that's going on in my head. I'm just putting it out there because it keeps me present in my life because I have to think about these episodes. I got to think about what I'm going to say, and it's part of my spiritual practice, actually. So we'll talk about that next week. I'm not making you do nothing. I don't think anybody really, I think like my views are so low, my listeners are so low, it's not worth it, but it's helping me. And that's my goal, really, to help me or help somebody else. What's up, Bob? Help somebody else that's going through some things, you know. You don't have to live that life. Whatever you live, you know what I'm talking to, my fellow addicts. You don't have to live that life anymore. You could be clean. You can be free. It's not that it's not easy, but if you don't know how to stop, that's the first thing you have to do. Figure out how you're gonna stop, and then stop. If you gotta not have money or quit, stop. But you gotta when you want it, because you're gonna die. You're gonna die. I know a lot of people that have died this year. No, last year. I told you 4 men my age all dead. In the street from drugs. So, you know, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm thankful for this space. I'm thankful for anybody that pays attention or gotten some out of it. I just wish you the best. Garcia, my thoughts are with you and your family. Like I said, this is the worst. I couldn't imagine this happening to anyone. I couldn't imagine it happening to me. I couldn't imagine what if I just was walking down the street all of a sudden I'm locked up. They're telling me something. I can't talk to a lawyer. I can't call my wife. I can't call my family. And next thing you know, I'm on a plane going to a prison in El Salvador. In this country, in my lifetime. It's shocking. All right. Peace. I'm out. Have a good time. Love you all.
All right, people. We out. Choose love every time, and things will work out. All right?
Peace.
See
Love you.
this week.